just perfect. She's truly perfect. And that is gone. That's a great backhanded effort. Good afternoon and welcome to Softball SA action live from West Beach in South Australia. James Harris here, part of the Spacequake Sports call team with Lee Hull to my left. Good afternoon, Lee.
Good afternoon, James, and everybody. It's a perfect day to be playing a game of softball out there on the sun, but also the wind.
Big clash today here in the Adelaide Club competition. We have the Port Adelaide Magpies versus the Walkerville Cats. And as we just see Port Adelaide on the diamond, just going through their pre-game warm-up, we can tell you that although it's only our first look at the Cats so far this year, they have been pretty good, pretty competitive. 3 wins, 4 losses, 15 runs for and 17 against, and that's probably off the back of their American import pitcher, Johanna Grauer.
Yes, she's been impressive. The last time, the only time they've met these two teams was in round 9, and it was a 5-0 result to Walkerville.
Yep, the Cats shut out the Pies in their only clash of the season. Now, we're actually about a quarter of the way through. Most teams have played 7 games, and Walkerville are sitting equal top on the table, 5 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. But Lee, they've been absolutely dominant since their loss. They've played the bottom 2 teams and they've beat up on them pretty badly, outscoring them 25 runs to 1 in the last 2 games.
Tells the story in itself, doesn't it, the amount of runs, James? But they, Walkerville is a team that they have a loss, they come back hard, just like Seacombe did.
Well, here we go. We're about to get underway. Johanna Grauer throwing for the Port Adelaide Magpies, as mentioned, and it is the champ herself, Chelsea Robinson, to get things underway for the Cats. We'll go around the diamond in a moment as we see Grauer fire that one in there at 103 for her first pitch of the game. Called strike to get ahead of the count. Always important, isn't it, early on in the game to get your rhythm in. And
yep, get a couple of strikes on the board early.
High for a ball. She's got American national catching, Cara Tilton, although she's moved to Australia. So do we count her as an import? Similar to third base for Walkerville, isn't it?
Merkin, yeah.
Inside pitch just jams up Robinson a little bit and she fouls it off.
Umpires for this game, James. Ian Gray's on plate, Steve Wallace-Yarrows at first, and Kevin Tannebring is at third. No shade for Gray today. No, I just don't want to overdo it. I tell you, this girl's impressive to me, Grayer.
Yeah, she can swing the bat as well. So I'd say that she'd be up top of her team's batting averages as well. She got a couple of hits against Steph Drzezinski. She's been likely against a lot of the top pitchers in the comp so far.
Well, a lot of people, most people have had trouble with Steph's pitching, but not Yo-Yo. She's got 2 stand-up doubles.
Is that her? Is that her nickname? Lee?
It is now.
Yo-Yo.
Yes. She's usually got the ball on the string, I thought.
Looks like Johanna Grauer when it's written on paper, but pronounced Johanna.
Yep.
Has Swedish American parents. Has played for the Swedish national team.
Okay.
And the American junior national side as well.
Pretty versatile. Yep. Oh, yeah, talented. She's talented, all right. Capital T.
Robinson, another foul ball. She's seen a fair few pitches. Great lead off. It's what you want from a lead off, isn't it? See a lot of pitches, foul off a few, and then hopefully get one you want.
And that's why catchers make very good batters, in my opinion, because they see a lot of the ball coming down throughout the game.
Gee, that change-up came in at 64 Ks an hour.
Yeah, that's a big
Ks different.
Yeah, it's a big drop. She normally throws off pace, which is about 15 to 16.
Did she hit her leg? Is that why it came out?
I think that's what it was. Got it in a bit too close to the leg and went whack.
Payoff pitch for lead-off Chelsea Robinson. Fouls this one off yet again. So terrific turn at bat, really, when they've played against each other once this year, as we mentioned, in the 5-0 shutout. So Walkerville have form against Grower, but you'd think that she's probably settled in a little bit to the climate, to the time of year, to the competition, the conditions that she has to play under.
Yeah, it's a big call coming all that way down here, down under.
Fouls it off yet again. Countdown clock in the bottom left of your screen shows about 81 minutes. We count down from 85 because there's no new innings to start after 85 minutes. However, once an innings does start, you have to complete it. So we do a countdown clock.
Yep.
Yet again, payoff. Another foul. So Robinson just, I don't know, I don't think she's having too much trouble. She's just hasn't got her pitch yet because she's been able to foul off plenty so far.
I think I'd throw the off pace, the 15 Ks off pitch here, because she's itching to hit it again, Chelsea.
Shakes off Tilton, gets her pitch. There's 104 again, so a go-to pitch must be that hard and down, trying to catch that edge.
Well, if pitcher Grower wasn't warm at the start, she is by now, surely.
How many's that? You reckon that's about 8 or 9 pitches for the at-bat so far?
10.
Pitch number 11, batter number 1 inside, and third base, Callahan will take that on one bounce and fire it across to Straps at first for the first out. While we mention those players, Lee, let's take them around the diamond.
Okay, you've mentioned the battery, Joanna to Cara Tilton. First base, Tash Straps. At second base, Jess Neves. Third base, Charlize Callahan. And Taylor Chillingworth is in the hole at shortstop. Left field, Megan Williams, Amelia Dolphin at centre, and Ella Forrester at right.
Very young, but
very young, isn't it? Very young on the left side of the diamond, James.
That was quick, 107 for Grower, but out of the zone. Benithan held up on that swing for ball 1. Not a bad lead-off for the Cats. 5 minutes for Chelsea Robinson, and 11 pitch turn at bat.
Yep.
High, hard, 104 for ball 2.
And this girl put one over the fence last game, Hayley Benithan.
Yeah, that was against Seacombe in their 13-0 win.
Which she hasn't even told anybody about. So that's the type of person she is.
Very humble.
We'd be the same, James, you and I, surely. I mean, you would put it over plenty of times, but me, maybe not.
Well, that's the hard part, isn't it? The hard part's doing it, hitting it over. Very accomplished player, Hayley Benithan, recently named in the Stars lineup for the 2020 National Championships. Change of pace, 91 Ks.
That's the one. That's the one I would have thrown at Chelsea a couple of times.
She's got pretty good control over that change-up, hasn't she?
Yeah,
she's thrown it a couple of times for a strike so far.
And it's just enough off without being 40 off. Oh,
nice, crushes this one. Foul, one bounce and into the foul territory, left field fence. Megan Williams takes a day pack to go and fetch that one. And interesting to see the veteran, Megan Williams, at left field. We normally see her at shortstop, but Port Adelaide definitely giving the young juniors an opportunity. They're both the shortstop and third base. Callahan and Chillingworth are both in the state under 16 squad.
Yeah, and they haven't let the side down, so that's good.
108 for Grower. Gee, she's turned it up a notch a little here for Benithan. How's the first two batters for the Cats? Probably taken about 16, 17 pitches already.
Yeah, in about 7 or 8 minutes, Nelly. Should throw the off pace here. 15 off. Get it down to about 91 or 2.
2-2 count. There it is. 62 Ks.
So that's a big drop.
An hour. So I mentioned before that perhaps it hit her leg, but she's done it again. She's got 2 change-ups. One takes off about 15, 16 Ks. The other one takes 40 Ks an hour off.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? Zoe Connolly, the Glenelg pitcher, the import, she's 40, 45 off at times, you know. Don't throw a lot of them, though.
Desi G. Morales up to bat for the Cats, 105. And gee, I've been around softball a while. When you've got a change up like that, it's normally called a filthy change up because it's so dirty on the bat. It's just.
Yep. It's knowing when to throw it, isn't it? And look at this Walkerville batting lineup. I tell you, they're in form all the way down.
43 runs scored for the next closest team's got 27. It's just shows that the Cats have definitely brought their offensive games. Most other teams, you know, 15, 16, 17 runs, 4, and then there's a couple at the bottom of the ladder with 4 and 6 runs in those 7 games. So
yeah, that's a great point, James.
Swing and a miss, Jim Morales. Yeah, so the point being is that it has been a pitching dominant first quarter of the season, except for here, these Walkerville Cats who put 43 runs on in 7 games, so averaging 6 runs for a game.
That'll win most games. Yeah, well, this is game 25 of 87 for the minor round. So, like you said, it's about a quarter of the way through.
Pretty close on the ladder as well. We might talk about the ladder in a moment. 3 teams really high in the points, with West Torrens and Walkerville on 11. Sturt have played 6 games, so 1 game less on 10. Then Port and Glenelg are jostling for position there, 6 and 7 respectively, and Hills and Seacombe 1 and 2 points. Swing and a miss, so 2 strikeouts in the inning, and although only 3 batters, the Cats made Grauer work there, having to throw 20 plus pitches, but she was dominant in that inning, wasn't she, Johanna Grauer?
She certainly was.
All right, well, let's talk about who else has been playing well for both teams. We went through the Port lineup. Tash Straps didn't play the first few games of the year, so she'll bolster their lineup a little bit, and you've got Amelia Dolphin at centre field, has earned her spot in the starting lineup, hasn't she? She's been a pinch hitter once in a while, just playing minor roles, and then a couple of good hits. That'll get you in the lineup every time, won't it?
It certainly will, and there's a lot of good fielders around there, but somebody can use the stick on a regular basis, and that's why Amelia's out there. She's been impressive. All
right. As Walkerville go through their 5 warm-up pitches, take us around the diamond, Leroy.
Certainly. It's pitching, it's Jessie Dreswick to Josie Robinson. First base, Sophie Roberts. Second base, Desi G. Morales. And at third base for Walkerville, it's the hard-working, non-shirking, lurking Merkin. That's number 28, Ashley. And at shortstop, it's Sophie King. The outfield, left to right, Michaela Robinson, Bianca Ramsey, and Kelsey Barker. And I think I'm at liberty to say this is Michaela Robinson's last game for the season. Yeah, tell us a bit more about Michaela Robinson, dual premiership player with the Cats. She's going up to Port Augusta, I believe, and working and living up there. So it'd be a bit too far to come down on a Saturday, or certainly on a Wednesday as well. Wish her all the best. Jess Neves, first pitch, gets this one in the gap between short and third. So a great lead off from the Magpies, some good intent, straight up, aggressive. Isn't she the most improved player, Jess Neves? And I'm certain that the training she's getting at the Stars, with the Stars, has been a big help to her. She's also involved in the fully loaded softball action, where she's hit a home run as well as been a good performer for her team. Second pitch of the game is a bunt from Ella Forrester. Straight back to Jessie Dreswick as she plays the fielder's choice to get the lead runner.
Great defense from the Cats, but that was a pretty good bunt there from Ella Forrester, who's also playing in the fully loaded competition. So those two players involved in that competition up the top of the order.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Magpies, it went straight back with a bit of pace to Jessie. No problem throwing her out. Jess Neves.
Star pitcher, Grower, hitting 3 for the Pies, and that's just the third pitch of the inning. We've seen 1 out and third batter and 1 runner aboard already.
Well,
chops at this one, goes foul, and just the reason I mention it was because it's complete opposite to the way that the Cats started the game, Lee. They saw plenty of pitches. Jessie Dresick for the Cats. Change of pace of her own came in at 92k, so gave her a taste of her own medicine, Lee, with that 92k change.
But I tell you, anybody can hit Steph for 2 stand-up doubles can bat.
Forrester, the runner on first, hasn't really moved since she laid down that sacrifice bunt. Grower fouls one off.
And that's the nature of the game, isn't it? Just getting them on, get the runner into a scoring position, which they tried to do with Ella's bunt.
High for a ball.
Look quicker than 103, that one to me. Maybe it's just the old eyes, I think.
Grower punches this one left side, one bouncing into the fence. Robinson chases that one down, and is there a slight obstruction there with the runner and the fielder at third?
Repeat of earlier message, James. This girl can hit, Grower.
Yeah, the statewide super replay shows her turning second there. She was at second before the ball even got into the infield, so she's pushed Forrester across to third base. She stands up on second. There's 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Very early in proceedings here, the bottom of the first innings.
Well, they've laid it down, haven't they, to Jessie?
Megan Williams up to bat for the Magpies. I believe she's captain of this team. Very good leader. And haven't the Walkerville Cats infield just come right in? They want to stop that run from scoring. Vincent tries to frame that one up the top of the zone, but it's too high for a ball. 1-1 count.
And the problem we have now as the pitcher is that now we can't go back to trying to blast them out. You know, we just got to keep in control, one at a time.
Well, confusion reigns out there for the Cats as Megan Williams shows bunt, pulls out, called strike. Runners didn't go like a squeeze, so perhaps it was a bunt and run rather than a squeeze play.
I think so. I think so.
Pushes this one right side. Kelsey Barker's got a job to do there. Lands fair, lands foul, just foul. I want to be good to see again, I reckon, as it came close to the line. Kelsey Barker at right field. Didn't look like she was fully committed to go for that one. And
no, maybe she thought it was. Well, she could have gone for the catch, I suppose, but let's have a look.
Great angle here from the state.
Oh, it's close.
Wake Sports team on the statewide super replay. It was foul, so a great call from the umpiring crew. Strike 3, that one came in 104 for Jessie Dresick as she doesn't give Megan Williams a second chance.
But don't you dislike that when you're coaching, James? You've got 2 runners in scoring position, you go down looking.
Well, the pitch before, she'd done her job, hadn't she?
She
did her job to get the ball into play. It just went foul, so not too bad. Catch a speed up rule will happen here with 2 out. Cara Tilton was intentionally walked, Lee.
Yep.
Who's made that call? Did that come from the dugout? I was looking down at my notes.
Possibly, but I would think if I'm in the position, I'm going to walk the Brower.
Do you think the influence of Dave Gooley in the Walkerville dugout would have perhaps suggested to Coach Carindale, that we've got Charlie's Callahan, under 16 player, up to bat in the on-deck circle. Let's give Carrot Tilton the base on balls and go at the kid.
That's exactly where it's come from.
Loaded bases for Port Adelaide as they threaten. This one goes into play just underneath the glove of Roberts, but Desi Giamarellis, the veteran, is right there to support her young teammate. Fields it, little underhand toss over to Roberts to complete the out, and the Walkerville Cats, under a little bit of pressure there with 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position, they get out of trouble. Statewide Super Replay shows Giamarellis with the out, and after 1 complete, we've got a 0-all ball game.
Yes, took the pace off it, didn't she? And that was enough to get the out and the 3rd out of the inning. So no score after they looked threatening.
Other games on today in the Adelaide Club competition: Sturt Falcons versus Glenelg Rebels, 3rd versus 4th. Potentially game of the round, although this one looks a little tantalising at the moment. And
well, I think that'll be a great game. I'm really impressed with Glenelg this season, as I mentioned, always, because though they don't score a lot of runs, the opposition don't score money against them.
Well, a win will see Glenelg stay in touch with the top 4, won't it? Because it's pretty tight already up the top, but there's a little separation between 3rd and 4th. So, other game, maybe a chance of an upset for there as well. The point we mentioned, no Belinda White for the Rebels. So, so Glenelg may, and she's on fire at the moment, by the way, Belinda White. She's in career best form.
She going somewhere?
Up to Brisbane for a function, not with the Aussie team, from what I understand. Other game tonight is Hills Heat versus West Orange. Now, speaking of a chance to pinch one, Hills Heat have only won the 1 game so far, but I don't think they've been at full strength yet this year. They've had a few midweek games, which of course they have to play without their star Georgia Hood. So top versus 6th there, but last time they played, it was a pretty tight game. I believe West Orange just got over the line against the Hills 3-0. Sophie Roberts goes first pitch against Grower.
I'd personally like to see Amber Hood go back to catching, because Amber really gets stuck into her sister George, and I believe gets the best out of her as a pitcher. Yeah,
she's the best player in the team as well, besides Georgia.
Yep.
And of course, is pretty much the best player in the comp. So, so Amber's their team leader as well. I like that, Lee. I like the team leader behind the plate. Glenelg Rebel, Walker. Said every other team. Sturt Falcons can get away with it because Sarah Tonkin is such a good catcher. And there's a lot of plays going to the field. I don't think as many plays are going to shortstop for the Hills Heat at the moment. So get her behind the plate, get her involved in the game. I like that call, Lee. So who's your 2 tips for those games?
For these games, those next 2 games, the remaining 2. Well, I'm going for a bit of an upset in the Glenelg game. I think maybe 3-2 Glenelg. And West Orange and Hills, if Amber Hood catches the George, I'm going West Orange 4-1.
All right, well, you heard it right here. Who was your tip for this game? Did you give one?
Walkerville, I would say, would win by about 2 runs. So maybe 4-2.
Sophie Roberts has 2 strikes. She's fouled a couple off and given a few opportunities to the Port Adelaide defence. A couple of foul balls just out of reach of Tilton and Callahan. Can she make them pay here? Because she's been electrifying in the fully loaded competition, putting the ball to the fence on a regular occasion.
Well, her and Tori Pogue, the shortstop for Glenelg, are both very strong physically. Tori put one over last game on this diamond, and I think in the game last week, Sophie Roberts hit the fence on the full crashing shot.
Just saw shortstop for the Magpies, Chillingworth, take that ball on the run and fire it across for the first out. So good play from the kid.
Yep.
American swing and a miss first pitch here. But that was a good play. If she held back, you know, she would have taken 3 or 4 bounces.
Difference between being safe
and took it on the second bounce, and then was able to make that play on the run. Very impressive.
And it's about gaining the confidence, isn't it? You know, believing that you are an A-grade player. And she's in a hot spot. Same with Charlize. They're in very hot positions here with big gun batters like Walkerville have.
2 strikes to count. Just on the inside edge, and Neves has got a work cut out, but makes a good play. Another play on the run for the Magpies as she gets it across to Straps for the second out. So Grauer's been getting on top early in the count now with these Walkerville batters. We saw in the first inning she had to work pretty hard for the first 3 outs of the game. She did get them, but they took a lot of pitches. They saw a lot of pitches, whereas here she's just bang, 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 get ahead of the count.
Well, she's in the rhythm now, isn't she? In the zone, as they say, James. Here's a batter with some experience, Sophie King.
Hitting 6.
Goodness. Hitting 6, yeah, it's an interesting position.
I mean, she's not going to replace anyone ahead of her in the order, is she? When, you know, perhaps she misses a game once in a while due to work commitments, but gee, she's a star of the game, Sophie King.
Yeah, it's usually Wednesday she can't usually get here, so maybe they don't like shifting the thing, and you don't need to, do you, really? Shift the batting side around. If you're not getting anything from anyone, well, you might as well throw the names up in the air, but not with this side.
Yeah, back-to-back premierships for the Walkerville Cats, and new coach this year. However, you don't want to change too much if it's worked over the last couple of years, couple of premierships.
Yep, you don't change for the sake of change, they tell me.
King gets in front of that one there, although it still came in over 100 Ks, and pulls it foul to the left side. Battling well up there, King. There's been a slight delay before the pitch before with a foul ball coming over from the baseball diamond, visiting Japanese all-stars from their college or university all-stars, Junko, I believe they're called. Gets a piece of this change up. Fires it across, Chillingworth, but not in time. That's the difference from the first play that she had in the inning to that one. She could have attacked it, decided to sit back, took on King, and she's like lightning, so she was able to beat out that throw.
To quote one of our other commentators in the commentary position, Mark Cram, you were 100% correct then, because Kingy's got the pace.
Well, 2 out, Kelsey Barker up to bat. She is a state under 23 representative. She's been featuring in the fully loaded competition Thursday night, 7 p.m. right here, Space Quake Sports.
Tell you what, this girl's got some strength too. She's been hitting really well lately for Walkerville.
Well, again, Grauer just way ahead of the count. You reckon we'll see King take off here on the pitch?
Maybe. She probably won't throw the big change up here. She will go off pace.
Swing and a miss. So the strikeout counts. The catcher didn't really take it cleanly, but
realised what the situation was.
Strike swinging was called from umpire Gray, and that'll do it for the Cats in the top of the second inning. So in the middle of the second, it's still a 0-0 ball game.
It's tight.
Cats with 1 hit, the Pies with 1 hit. But 2 though, the Jess Neves led off with a hit. So there you go. Port Adelaide may have the momentum.
2 quality pitches. You wouldn't expect
game.
Too many runs happening.
Yeah, good call from Steve Wallace-Yarrow there on the statewide super replay. Chillingworth on her heels, but I did notice for that last batter, she was inside the line, surprisingly, for a shortstop in the A-grade competition. That ball can come at you pretty hard, but I don't know, maybe that was
because of her arm.
Because she didn't charge that one before. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe she thinks that's about my distance.
But she's left the base open for Sophie King on that stolen base by fielding inside the line now as well. So she would have been smart enough to see that. That's why she took off on the pitch, and
she'll learn. She'll learn. Just play a little bit to the base, just a little bit.
Tash Straps, the hitter for Port Adelaide. Goes first pitch yet again. This is a tactic from the Port Magpies, you'd say, because 5 of their 7 batters have gone first pitch, and Chillingworth now the new hitter.
Yeah, it's a set plan, you would think.
Similar to the game plan of Butch Sims when he coached the SA Under-17 girls at National Championships earlier this year. We saw a lot of aggressive turns at bats from the SA girls, who made it all the way to the final, but were outplayed by New South Wales, weren't they? They played them 4 times in the tournament, twice in finals, and New South Wales just super dominant. Chillingworth bat on ball, but it goes down the throat of Gia Morales at second base. 2 quick outs for the Cats, and just what they would have wanted as well, so they can perhaps arrest some of the momentum that Port Adelaide had built up a little bit, come back, regroup, get back to the top of the order.
Well, it was batter 7, 8 and 9 in this innings for Port, and that's what Jessie's done. She's cranked it up. You start taking it easy on those 3 batters, then you find a couple of people get on, and then you're at the top of the lineup. Then you've got problems.
Here's another impressive young talent for Port Adelaide, Amelia Dolphin. And you were telling me off air before about Amelia. She's got to get going after the game.
Well, Kevin Tannebring, the umpire, at third, told me that there's a census on in the Port River today, and it is true that they're doing a census for all the dolphins. So Amelia, whether she's has a leave pass, I'm not sure.
Maybe she pre-filled the form out. Good turn at bat. She watches that one on the outside edge. 2-2 count.
She doesn't look out of place in this company, I'm telling you, James. Not at all.
Might give it away, actually, the helmet, formerly of the Walkerville Cats Softball Club. Got an opportunity to play senior ball here at Port Adelaide. Took it, and here she is, starting player for the Magpies against her old club. Former Dragons program participant. That one's in there for a called strike. Pretty low, and Amelia thought it may have gone under, but that is 3 outs. The Cats just took a little bit of time to realise that they'd made 3 outs.
The look on Amelia's face was enough. She looked back thinking, and yes, it was.
Well, after 2 complete innings, we've got a 0-0 ball game.
No surprises, is there? With that?
Well, if you are watching at home, thank you very much for your support online. Of course, we bring you all the live action replays across Softball SA Facebook page, YouTube channel and Instagram. Live streaming highlights and all the big plays every Saturday afternoon and Thursday nights currently with fully loaded softball. NITV coverage will recommence tomorrow afternoon, November 17th at 12:30 p.m. on channel 34. However, viewers on Fox 144 and the Freeview app can see all the coverage 90 minutes earlier Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and also channel 44. All very special thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports.
Yes, certainly. It's probably the first game of the year that we televise. It's going to be on NITV. So we'll all be interested to have a look at it, refresh our memories.
Shows bunt, pulls out on the outside edge. This is Michaela Robinson in her farewell game. I'm sure we'll see her back shortly at some stage or another. She's a quality player.
Yeah.
Who knows?
She did.
I reckon she pulled out there.
Yeah.
So I don't have the best view, and So 1 strike. Correction on that first pitch. That one inside for a ball. Yeah, just on that first pitch, she showed bunt, she pulled back, but the umpires adjudicated that she didn't pull back in time. So 1 strike called. Low for a ball, so gets herself ahead of the count now, Michaela Robinson. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Interesting how she's pitching to Michaela, batting at number 8. Just needs to mix it up a little bit here, I think.
Robinson likes to look at that one, fouls it off. 2-2 the count now. Yeah, the Cats seem to have a young brigade coming through that they're able to mix into the outfield a little bit. So although Michaela Robinson will be a loss for them, they seem to have a couple of likely young players coming through as well, sitting on their bench today. George and more, as Michaela Robinson grounds this one to Grower for the first out.
Yes, it's a typical Grower comeback, wasn't it then? Got behind the count, then slowed it down a little, just a fraction.
Bianca Ramsey is one of those youngsters that we just mentioned in the outfield for the Cats. She's playing centre field. This one right at the bottom of the zone for a called strike.
Very promising young player, Bianca.
Yeah,
missed last year.
Missed last year and played for the state under-23s the year before. So she's got some talent. Puts this one right side. Well fielded by Tash Straps for the second out. Yeah, just on Ramsey. She was their grand final hero the year before in their first of their 2 premierships.
Yeah, she certainly was.
In the back-to-back premierships, they're reigning premiers, and she got a couple of hits against West Torrens and seemingly from out of nowhere, but brilliant coaching from Sue Tomlinson to have her in the lineup. Chelsea Robinson tries to pinch here, a running bunt, and successfully out of reach of Grower. Probably a push bunt more than anything, wasn't it? Surprised me here. Statewide Super replay as she will do a running bunt, gets in that bunt position later. It was high and just out of reach of both. This will be a better angle here of the pitcher, third base and shortstop.
Yo's reaction was quick enough, but it was just well executed by Chelsea.
Sophie King is the catcher speed up. She'll probably take off here to put a runner into in position, a little bit of pressure. Gee, back-to-back shots just out of reach of Grower. This one deflects off her foot, so you probably give that one a single to Hayley Benithan, and you've got 2 speedsters on base for the Cats, and up to bat is G. Morellis.
Yes, well, here's danger for the black and white team. Gia Morellis, Roberts and Merkin and King.
Second time through the lineup. High for a ball, 105. So Grower not messing around now with 2 outs and 2 runners on. She just comes in with the heat there, just out of the zone. Change of pace down to 91k, so 105 down to 91. Grower into her motion. This one's a chopper up the middle and out of reach of Chillingworth at shortstop. Sophie King will score from second base. Took off on the hit, didn't stop, or break stride. Scores the first run of the game. So Desi G. Morellis comes up with the goods yet again. Statewide Super replay. It's a great shot up the middle, and although Chillingworth got across there, she is fielding quite shallow, so she doesn't give herself the best opportunity to get across laterally, but she did well enough to get a glove to it.
Yeah, a couple of knock-ons in this innings, which has hurt them for 1 run at the moment.
Runners at the corners, G. Morellis on first, Hayley Benithan on third.
As you know, James, sometimes the ball gets knocked away from the pitcher or from the infielder and it goes straight to a person on base for an out, or it'll go somewhere in the gap. It did on both occasions.
Sophie Roberts, the hitter for the Cats now, and if the pressure was on the Pies just before, it's no let up now with Sophie Roberts, the young champ. Played for the SA Under-23s Nationals in July, and an unfortunate injury to one of the Junior Aussie Spirit players was good fortune for Sophie Roberts. She had a great tournament and called up to the Aussie Under-19s to play in the World Championships the very next month. She goes down swinging on this occasion. Good pitch from Grauer. So working well together, Grauer and Tilton. Another strikeout as we see Port Adelaide go into the dugout in the middle of the third inning. They've got some work to do here. They threatened early, and now it's been all Walkerville with a few runners on base, back-to-back hits, a couple of missed fields. And they put the first run on the board.
They've got the first run, but that could have been a lot worse for them. I'm impressed with the Cara Tilton's catching today. It's impressed me here a bit, James, which is not easy to do.
Well, she didn't start the season as catcher, did she? Just,
no.
Abby Mossman just suffered a hand injury, so we wish her a speedy recovery, and hopefully she returns to the Port lineup. But she's slotted in quite well. She was playing a little bit at first, wasn't she? It was while Tash Straps wasn't around.
Yep.
Tash is back, and Tilton's gone into catch. So be interesting to see how Port Adelaide use her when Mossman's able to come back into the lineup.
Yes. Cara's more of a utility, I think. She doesn't seem to be too phased by what position she's playing in. Can Jessie Neves get a back-to-back hit here? Neves
versus Dresic, the two Jesses. Goes first pitch again. This one's going to be tough to negotiate here for the Cats, and just off the base there, and Neves beats this one out as Sophie Roberts fielded the ball inside the line, turns to throw to Gia Morellis, who's on the move to cover from second, and let's see it here. The issue wasn't whether she caught it or not. She took a great effort to catch the ball, but it looks like she might have fell off the base.
Yeah, that's how it's judged, and I think Jessie was asking Jess Neves what she thought. What do you think the runner on the base would be saying?
Good angle.
Yeah, I'll be saying, no, I made it. That was no worries.
Yeah, umpire Wallashara just suggesting that you're off the base there. He had a very good view of it, so and then she wanted to make the tag, but Neves was in her rights to run through the safety base and return, as she didn't turn to look at second base at all. Here we go, Ella Forrester, who bunted first pitch.
She's been impressive this season with her batting. I see her hit Zali Adams for a triple on diamond 2.
Pick off attempt from Robinson. That was a good replay from the Spacequake Sports team, the reverse angle, and we can see why it was called safe. Yeah, Forrester is a reserve for the SA Under-18 team, but gee, she's been outstanding, I thought. This one's off the inside of the bat. Lead runner attempt off the base again. So the Cats this inning now are just struggling in the field just that little bit, but it's enough in this game, isn't it? With the high intensity, statewide super replay showed that inside pitch that Forrester pulled to third base. Merkin with the right idea, but the throw was just a little off target.
Well, that's twice on 2 bases. Jess Neves has had the fielder off the base. Can she do it at third? We'll soon see. Here's danger now.
Yeah, Grauer, who put the ball to the fence last turn up to bat. 2 runners on base, no outs. Well, look, effortless, didn't it, from Dresic, as that one came in at 105.
Well, I'm passing her up here. I'm telling you, it's not worth the risk. If she clouts the one again.
Change of pace that floats into the strike zone, but over the top of it. For a ball to 2 balls for Grauer, so great hitting count here. .106, so Dresic just gives that a little bit extra.
That's a go, isn't it? The 2-0 count, free hit. She chose not to swing.
similar spot. This one's going to go foul. Kelsey Barker wanted nothing to do with that one. She wasn't going hard for that one, and it has landed just foul. 2-2 count, so Dressick's done well to get herself back to the count. Grower with a 2-2 count with 2 runners on. Piece of the ball up the middle. Bianca Ramsey charges in hard, throws it in, but it's just off target. Good support from Chelsea Robinson to block that one. So all runners advance, 1 base. Jess Neves was held up at 3rd by Coach Sims. Statewide Super Replay shows a 2nd hit of the ball game for Grower. Gee, she's been impressive with the bat.
Well, I repeat my earlier message. I said that I would have walked her. You know, hasn't scored a run, but it's filled the bases.
Bianca Ramsey did well at centre field to reduce the base running to singles, but throw was a little offline, so she'll work on that. Gee, a pitcher that can hit. That has been a good recipe for the Kath Coral Medal, the A-grade women's best and fairest over the last couple of years, hasn't it? We've seen Chelsea Cohen, Gabby Snyder, Katie Sutherland and Finch, Port Adelaide's first ever Kath Coral medalist. Last season, she threw pretty close to 200 strikeouts in 24 games, and she was the 2nd best hitter in the Port lineup after Vicky McFarlane. So it's a recipe for the umpires' votes, and hasn't Grower been a good exponent of that?
Yep, she certainly has, and the more I see of her, the more I think she's a player. Now it's time, none out, none away, and it's the chicken, Megan Williams.
Yep, Walkerville Cats just called a timeout, loaded bases with no outs, with the number 4 hitter up to bat. So 4 or 5 hitters, usually known for their power. They just need the ball into play now as Dressick just clicks it up a notch, 107 Lee. So she's matched Grower for the fastest pitch of the game on 107.
You'd be thinking about a squeeze here, because if you get 1 out, you've still got bases loaded.
106 and gets way ahead of the count there. Dressick, 2 strikes, so the squeeze play goes out the window here, Lee.
Yeah, well, just shorten up and try and make good contact now.
Just on the outside edge, 108 Lee, so no messing around from Dressick. That might have been the message from the Cats coach, Karen Dale. Get in there and fire a few bullets in. 107, 106 and 108 for the last 3 pitches.
Tells a story.
That one is just a slight miss hit off the end of the handle for Megan Williams. Goes straight to Sophie King, who comfortably makes a catch. All runners panic and hustle back, but nothing doing on any of the bases. 1 out for Cara Tilton, who was intentionally walked her first turn up about in the 1st inning.
Yeah, it's time Cara went to Tilton here.
Another one for Dressick to jam up the batter and to get an easy infield catch, this time to G. Morella. So 2 quick outs for Walkerville, as Dressick has not shown any signs of stress at all with the loaded bases and none out. Just come in firing.
And what two easy outs, weren't they? Really easy.
This one just a little out of the strike zone, but Callahan was good enough to get the hands up and foul it off. So she's trying to get the ball into play here.
Only has to land for a run, doesn't it? Land somewhere.
Just on the outside edge, just missing. 1-1 count for Charlize Callahan. She hits a rifle shot right at the top of the zone, but a 9-3 play. Kelsey Barker Unreal play from the right fielder. Good stretch from Sophie Roberts. Saved a run, didn't it? It was, it looked like a no doubt run there. Good piece from Callahan. She needs to get on her bike. Kelsey Barker was Johnny on the spot. Fires it in for the third out. A force out, 9-3 play, Lee.
A terrific effort from Kelsey Barker, James. Heck of a lot of pressure on her because there's runners going everywhere. Maybe two could have scored. Bad throw, could have scored, not just one, but no. Similar to Walkerville's last turn at the bat, with the bat. Threatened a lot, scored one Walkerville, but Port scored none. Bases loaded. Boy.
And after 3 complete, it's a 0-all ball game. Well, let's give a little bit of credit where it's due with Kelsey Barker on that play, Lee. She not only had to stop the ball, she not only had to get in there quick, smart, she not only had to make the right decision on the play there, and that was to attempt the force out at first base. Anything go wrong there, the throw, maybe a bounce that gets away from her off the grass, whatever.
Yep.
It's
one or two runs.
It's 1 or 2 runs.
Yep.
And so under pressure, she's made a great play. But gee, Charlize Callahan got a great piece of the ball. She got all of it. It was a little high and outside the zone, but she smashed it opposite field to give her runners every opportunity to score.
And
so
such a young player, Charlize. So confidence, that builds confidence.
Returning to the action, Johanna Grauer throwing for the Port Adelaide Magpies. That's a very casual stroll back to the plate, isn't it, that she's got there, taking her time. Merkin, the hitter for the Cats, fouls this one off.
Yeah, batters 5, 6 and 7, Merkin, King and Barker. So Kelsey Barker's on a high. No doubt she'll get a safe hit.
It's the right time to come up to bat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It happens a lot, doesn't it? You just get that little bit of self-belief and a little bit more confidence, and you produce. We'll see.
Out of the zone for a ball. Tough one for Tilton to get a handle on. Top of the 4th inning, still got about 35 minutes. So we've made up a little bit of time. Remember, the first turn at bat went for 5 minutes. 11 or 12 pitches from Chelsea Robinson.
Lead-off batter in the game for 5 minutes against pitchers of this quality. Yes, unbelievable.
High and outside for another ball.
This girl's been a solid player, Ash Merkin. And
well, quite the find.
Yep.
We have a number of American and international players come to play in our competition. But Merkin, similar to Catcher Tilton, has moved to Adelaide. She'll get a walk, 108 Ks, just not able to find the strike zone on this occasion, Grauer, and this is the first time she's let a lead off on, and Walkerville will now have the opportunity to advance, and if you want a specialist short game player, you don't want anyone else other than this young lady up to bat here, Sophie King.
Needs to get around earlier than what she normally does with the bunt on this pitcher.
Expecting a short play. Ball, great pick up from Tilton. That saved a base.
She's catching very well, Cara.
And King was able to pull out of that one too easily. She'll have another try at a short play here, and she did have a fan at that one. And Grauer's done well, kept it very low in the strike zone, and then even got it under the strike zone, a good drop ball.
You need to get it under, because if you keep it at the knees, then that's already on the way down, and it makes it easier to bunt then.
That one low, and King pulls out, but a called strike. Not happy with that one. Sophie King walks out the box just to compose herself a little, because she probably feels a little hard done by on that one, but knows, more importantly for her team, that she's missed an opportunity for a short play to advance the runner. Great play. Nevers didn't quite have a handle on that one. I'd be interested to see if Coach Karen Dale calls timeout for a different view, because I don't think that Neves had control of that ball. Let's watch Sophie King on the statewide super replay. Lays down that textbook bunch. She's such a good player of that, and only just a little late. This is going to be the view that shows it here. Here we go, and you know who did see it? Dave Gawley's come out to talk to his coach. Look at that one. She's it just bobbled out of the glove. So he's done the right thing to come and speak to Karen about this. It might be too late because King's gone back into the dugout. A timeout has been called to make a change for a new hitter. They're not asking. Dave Gawley's seen it, seen what we saw, Lee.
Yep, certainly did. Here's a new hitter.
Yep.
It's Ash George.
Let's get on with this. Ash George up to bat has replaced Kelsey Barker in the lineup. She's been likely. In her very first season of softball, has a big cut at this one and just fouls it off. Mate, if she sticks with this sport, I know she's a baseballer, first love, but she's straight into A grade in her first season of softball, and it's not easy to walk into a back-to-back premiership team, as it is, let alone as your first year.
And doesn't she look like a player and plays accordingly to looks?
I love that she's at the back of the box as well. Looks very comfortable. Just swing at the first pitch as well. That just nicked it, so a foul for the first pitch. And
Kelsey Barker will be a bit dark after that good great play.
Yeah, oh yeah. No. They tell me she's related to Morgan Young.
Is she?
Ashley George. She's so if it runs in the family, she's got some good pedigree. High and drops that third strike. Just fumbles it well at the last moment, and well, that chance that the Cats perhaps missed out on with that call on the last play, they've got it right back here. That ball was just out of the zone. It was high. Cara Tilton couldn't quite get a handle on it. George took off to get safe. Merkin advances to third. Felt she had to dive back. Here's the reverse angle, statewide super replay here. Great coverage from Spacequake Sports. That was the reason why it was safe. Tilton just got this one gets away from Tilton again, and Merkin comes diving and sliding in. The tag was made, and Tash Draps thought she was a chance. Runners advance again, so second run of the game. Wants to catch up on there a little bit. Gee, here we go. Statewide super replay on the pitch here. It was going to be a bunt. Michaela Robinson pulls out. Cara Tilton can't get a handle on it. 2 pitches in a row. Run scores on the pass ball. Maybe even a wild pitch, to be honest.
It was, I think.
It's not.
In fairness to Cara.
Yeah. In fairness to Cara, that one wasn't anywhere near the strike zone.
And good running by Ash Merkin.
Yeah, aggressive running. It was good. She came in hard. She slid in hard and was safe. George advanced to second. Great pickup from Tilton. But yet Growler just probably struggling a little bit with control here. And look at this is a terrific call here from catcher Cara Tilton to call timeout to go over word to a catcher. She can sense that, I'm not going to say she's struggling because she's still throwing very well, but she's just not hitting her spots here at the moment. So well done from Cara Tilton to call a timeout here.
Yes, just probably telling her to get back to what you do best. Throw those pitches.
And a walk to Michaela Robinson. Not sure if she had a strike called on her, Lee.
No, I don't think she did, Jones.
Bianca Ramsey for the 5th batter of the inning, Lee.
Have to bunt, don't you?
Sure. 5th batter of the inning, only 1 out, 2 runners on. 1 at the top of the zone.
That's my argument about going for the first pitch, because any pitcher worth their salt's going to throw it up, knowing that you're going to bunt.
Ramsey, just off of that one, a foul ball. Coach Dale just then shaking her head. I reckon they've missed 2 signals in a row.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm certain that she was going to bunt her again there.
1-1. It's an 0-2 count here. 2 strikes on Ramsey. First pitch was a called strike.
Didn't that take off?
Swing and a miss. That one's an auto out with a runner occupying first with less than 2 out now. So now it's 2 out.
Yep.
But we go to the top of the order for Chelsea Robinson. Ashley George, the runner on second. Michaela Robinson, the runner on first base.
Love nothing more than to push her sister around the base or two.
In her last game for the Cats.
Yep.
What's she going to do? Where's she work?
I don't know where she works, but I only know the area she's going to.
Perhaps she'll be able to watch the live stream right here at Spacequake Sports.
Certainly.
Chelsea Robinson, the hitter, patiently waiting for her pitch and goes ahead of the count with 2 balls. About 30 minutes to go in the game. Change of pace. Robinson gets a piece of the ball that goes into no man's land. Ashley George will score easily. Michaela Robinson to third easily, and Chelsea Robinson stands up at 2. She'll take it every day. It was a little chenker over the infield in between centre and left. If you can pick that spot out, Lee, you got a hit every day of the week.
You can't defend all the grassed area.
Statewide Super Replay shows that Chillingworth was not going to be able to get that. But I don't even think some of the better shortstops in the competition would have been able to get that because it was just too far away. We did mention that she fields in pretty close. There is a runner on third, but there was also 2 out. So interesting positioning in the field. Let's go now to the live action here. Hayley Benithan, the hitter, watches that one for a ball. Low for ball 2, and
good check.
Grauer's inning hasn't been bad, but she's given up a couple of runs.
And she's also changed her demeanour. She's rushing now instead of walking back like you mentioned before.
Benithan with a good hitting count. 2 runners in scoring position. A change of pace gets away from Tilton, but Michaela Robinson doesn't go on the pitch, so perhaps lost sight of the ball. It went between the legs of the catcher, Tilton.
Well, pitcher Grau was down there in time anyway, had she gone, I think.
Yeah. That one in there for a called strike. 107, 3 balls and 1 strike. The count now on Benithan. Good hitters count. 2 runners on and in scoring position. Another called strike, so Benithan watches 2.
Can't afford to go down looking here, Hayley. I'd bring the right fielder in a bit. I think she's a bit deep there, Ella. Want to catch the ball.
Chops it straight into the ground. Chillingworth throws on the run yet again. So attacking the ball again is the way to play that position. As she fires it across for the 3rd out, but not before Walkerville Cats put 2 runs on the board, and they hold a handy 3-0 lead. Well, Lee, we haven't had much of a chance to get to our social media, so thanks to everyone who is watching at home. We'll get to a couple of comments if you want to make one. Don't forget to like and share the page, and we go all around the world. So hello to everyone who is watching. One of our fellow commentators, Mark Cramp, watching from the southeast with Oscar. So good day to Mark and Oscar. Mark's the other guy, Lee.
Yes. Oscar, how old's Oscar?
Jill's watching as well. Hi, Jill Williams. Oscar, he'd be in his early 20s, I think.
Okay. I don't think I've met Oscar. I've heard about him.
We're back with the live softball action. Walkerville Cats in the middle of the 4th inning holding a 3-run-0 lead. Pretty commanding when you think about it, seeing as Walkerville's only given up 7 in the year. And I'm pretty sure 3 of those come in 1 inning against the Sturt Falcons. And 5 of those runs came in that one game where they went down 5-3 in their only loss. Tash Straps, a good shot.
More like her, isn't it?
She's quality. Tash Straps has represented South Australia at every age group, under 16, 17, under 19s, under 23s and open women. She's got a national championship with the under 19 women's in 2015 and she is a leader in this Port Adelaide lineup. Ground ball to shortstop Sophie King. She had to come and get it, and it was in front of second base, so she couldn't play the lead runner, and so she does the right thing to force out Chillingworth at first base for the first out of the inning. Tash Straps does move across to second in scoring position, and here is Amelia Dolphin.
First pitch was 2.
Cut from Dolphin, and Lee, at the completion of this inning, we might just touch on a stat that we've just been handed from our chief statistician, Lindy Radigan. Best in the business, Lee. Very privileged to have the quality of statistician in Lindy Radigan sitting to our left. She's a bit shy when it comes to getting the accolades, but thoroughly deserved. High and outside for a ball. The pitching stats so far, Lee. Johanna Grau has thrown 85 pitches. She's got a high strike rate, 57 strikes, 28 balls. In comparison, Jessie Dressick, who just fires in another strike for a 3-pitch strikeout on Dolphin. So she's got it twice in the game. Before this inning had started, just 37 pitch for 27 strikes and 10 balls. So she's so efficient. She gets the job done quickly. Whereas Johanna has sort of, particularly in the last inning, struggled with her spots, and in the first inning we saw a lot of pitches with a lot of foul balls from the Walkerville Cats. So two different stories there.
Yeah, and Johanna was looking like to me that in that innings especially, she was rushing through her work when all she needed to do was just go back and relax and make the batter wait for you.
2 outs for Port Adelaide. Their lead-off, Tash Straps, is on second base. Jess Neves up to bat. Swing and a miss on that change-up. Jess has actually been pretty good in this game so far. She's led off her team with a single in the first, and then she got a board from that error from the infield of Walkerville. Back-to-back change-ups from Dressick. So
and with success, those change-ups, weren't they?
Gets out of the way of that one. A third successive change-up attempt there from Dressick. This one just missing the mark just a little. 2-2 the count. Full count. Payoff pitch here for Neves. Chops this one foul. 107. So here, 3 change-ups, and now I'm going to try and blow one past you. Nearly got by, but Neves up to the challenge.
Yep.
Just got enough of it to stay alive in the count. Got an update on Michaela Robinson Lee. She's going to be managing a sheep station with her fiance up in Port Augusta. That's
the thing is with
Neves.
The thing is with Jess is Neves is such a small strike zone. She takes advantage of it.
Second runner aboard, third time for the game for Jess Neves.
Can't ask for much more than that from you, lead off.
Oh, Forrester now with the job to do with 2 out. Gets this to the right side for Gia Morales.
First pitch.
Good as they come in the infield. She's quality, Gia Morales. I could watch her play all day.
Yep, she's consistent. For a long time she's been consistent. Why I mentioned the first pitch then, you've got 2 people on. Need to take some pitches, in my opinion, to just put some pressure back on the field.
Who's that? Two players to see some pitches? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Who are the 2 players?
No, the last.
Oh, the last couple.
Ella,
okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, Lee, interestingly enough, I'm going to go back to social media. It says that you're watching. Lee Hull's watching.
Really?
Look, it says it right here.
Who's that been sent by? One of my fans, no doubt. There's only 2 of them, so must be one of either of them.
Hello to everyone who's watching on social media. I said it before, but you can catch all the live plays, the live action right here on Softball SA Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Instagram live streaming highlights and the big plays. Thanks to Spacequake Sports, and starting it back up tomorrow, NITV nationally broadcast softball action, and you can catch it from 12:30 Sunday afternoons on channel 34, half an hour early on Fox 144 and the Freeview app. 90 minutes earlier.
That's
Eastern
one
Australian
channel I
Daylight Saving
can get
Time.
is 34. I'll be sitting with my Fritz and sauce roll, no doubt, watching.
Here she is,
Top of the 5th.
Gia Morales, who brought in the first run of the game, I think. Just get you to check your card there.
Yep.
RBI single to Gia Morales. And there it goes again. So when the caliber of catcher in Tilton just struggling a little bit to take control here. Grauer's obviously missing her spots. Not easy to catch to a pitcher who's not consistently getting in the zone, and she struggled that last inning, and looks like she's struggling again this inning for 3 balls to start off the top of the 5th inning.
Not walking back, ambling back like she was. You made mention of it early in the game, James.
Well, I'm going to say that she's got to throw that same pitch again. Yeah, otherwise it's a walk. Yep. 107 though, so it's not a bad pitch to have in your back pocket. Tried the change up, Lee, and Gia Morales didn't even need to take the bat off the shoulder. Gets a lead-off walk. Sophie Roberts now up to bat. Roberts can power the ball, Lee, but is that bunt situation? Do you just want to get that 1 extra run and get out of reach?
Yes, exactly. Second pitch, I'd say.
Choose that one for a called strike.
That's interesting. Pitcher throwing a guts pitch like that on the first pitch, knowing the situation. Now she'll probably go up with the pitch. No. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, Roberts obviously with a green light to go.
It was like a swing from memory, wasn't it, really? It was like a late decision to me.
Fouls just back into the helmet of Cara Tilton, and that's exactly what they're designed to do, absorb the blow of a foul ball, and she had a little bit of a smile on her face there just as she picked up the ball close to our commentary position, so she looks okay, and I could tell you from experience, Lee, it might shake you up a little bit, but it's not as bad as what it looks.
Doesn't do your looks any good, James.
Well, if you weren't wearing a mask, I'm sure it wouldn't, but... That's interesting because Grauer has won that battle with a strikeout against Roberts, but got her swinging at a couple of bad pitches.
Yeah, where Desi's been on twice out of 3 turns about, Sophie hasn't troubled the base people.
But you can't let up on this Walkerville lineup because they just continue to bring terrific hitters to their lineup, and that's going to be a bonus for the Cats lineup. Any game this year, if Sophie Roberts, one of your best batters, isn't performing, you can always count on the one right behind her to pick the team back up again.
Yeah, you certainly can cover.
So yeah, I'm sure she won't be she'll be disappointed, but I'm sure she won't be too disappointed because she knows her team's got her back as she sits in the dugout for second strikeout of the game. But here's Merkin. She got a walk her last time up a bat and eventually scored a run on that pass ball. A wild pitch. This one fouls off.
Keeping them down low to Ash, isn't she?
Ash Merkin's not been living in a shadow, but maybe a little unassuming because of the star caliber of this Walkerville lineup. She's just a solid contributor. Love the way she goes about it. Not much gets past her at third. Handy batter in the middle order. Fouls this one off.
Likes the low pitches, and all of them to her this turn at batters have been low. Just trying to get her to ground out or put the ball into the infield and get the lead-off runner, Desi Morales.
Yeah, probably been about probably 7 or 8 pitches with Jumerel stuck on first. That 63 km/h changeup. She doesn't overthrow it. It's a weapon, and it's a filthy changeup, but she doesn't try to overthrow it or throw it too many times because then teams will get a bit of a read on it.
Yep, they certainly will.
Bit of a setup pitch, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
a really, really slow one, then try and come in hard.
And that's one low pitch he hasn't swung at in this turn at bat.
Full count now for Merkin.
She'll swing at this. Well,
second walk of the inning.
That's very good control from Ash Merkin, wasn't it? Swinging at everything that was low, and the last 2 low pitches, she didn't. Gets the base on balls. That makes the 4th for the innings, and there's 6 K2s to Yo.
4th for the inning.
Fourth
for the game. 4th walk
for the game.
4th walk for the game. 2 in 1 inning.
Yep.
King likes that one. It was probably a good pitch to go after. It was in there to be hit. Countdown clock's gone under 10 minutes, so that says 10 minutes before no new innings.
I'll be going bunt here.
Line drive back to Grauer. She's got an opportunity for a double play, which will end the inning. So
dare I say, should have gone bunt.
Well, it was a rifle shot straight back into her glove. She didn't have to move for it. And then throws it across to second base for the force out, not tagging up the runner on second. Let's watch the statewide super replay. Good catch. Actually, she did have to move. She had to stretch for it. And Neves covers second base very well. So a bit of luck there for the Magpies because with the countdown clock running down, they're running out of time and opportunities here. So if they can't get it done in this inning, they'll probably get one more try because the Cats have been working pretty efficiently. So we'll see in time. They're in the right part of the order though, with batters 3, 4 and 5, Grauer, Williams and Tilton. So maybe if they're going to have a go at it, it's got to be this inning.
What do you think your Walkerville will do here? Do you think they'll walk Yo here? Lead off, put the lead off on.
If they could drag out the inning a little bit, Lee, they might just be able to eat up more time. So I think if they're going to not give her an opportunity, it's to throw the ball around the zone rather than to pass her straight up.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
8 minutes in this game. First pitch is in there. One bounce and into the bottom of the fence. Grauer turns 2. She'll have to slide in here to third base, and she can do it all. Johanna Grauer. First pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning, and she hits it into the fence. Statewide Super replay. Lee, it was right in there to be hit. We were just talking about it.
I tell you, James, you walk her, even though she's the lead-off, you give her 1 base. They've given her 3 bases. How about that for some hitting?
Well,
off of this pitcher. We're not talking about me throwing the ball down at you. Yo, it's quality pitcher like Jesse Dreswood.
Megan Williams goes after the first pitch. There's that aggressive style that Coach Sims likes to put on his players. She fouls it off for 1 strike. Yeah, Lee, the thing is though, with Grauer, this one's out of the zone for a ball. With Grauer on third, Walkerville can give up a run to make it out. As long as no more runners get on base, they're going to win this game. And, you know, so 1 run's really not going to make too much difference. Although the infield look like they're on the line, maybe a step in front of the line there in the pivot position. So they still want to apply that pressure on the Port Adelaide offence.
They're not crowding really hard though, James. As you mentioned, they're just there and come in.
Does the job, Megan Williams. An RBI single. It's just gone off the backhand glove of Sophie Roberts. It was pretty well hit. Perfect execution. Get the ball behind the runner. Just see the deflection go out to right field, and Ashley George didn't take it at full pace. The ball wasn't at full pace because it diverted off the glove, so she didn't have that opportunity that Kelsey Barker had earlier in the game for that 9-3 play. Port Adelaide with a runner on first base, and they've scored their first run of the game, so they now trail by 2, and Tilton could change this game with 1 swing. She looks likely, doesn't she?
That was a huge swing. She makes contact here, it's gone.
Just gets under it. Sophie Roberts calls for it. Sun,
good catch.
Not in her eyes. She looked very confident getting that ball. She called everyone out and takes a good catch in foul territory. Statewide Super replay, yeah, just under it. So she'll be disappointed, missed opportunity perhaps, but...
Well, Sophie's a quality cricketer, so I think she's used to catching things without a glove. So she's going to swallow that. Was right into the sun it was too, James, as you mentioned. Difficult catch made look easy.
First pitch swing again for Callahan, a foul ball on this occasion.
Bit stiff last time, remember the last time she batted? Kelsey Barker came, well, Ash George is out there now.
Tries to pull this one, but goes foul. Robinson all over it like a cat. Back there patrolling as the catcher, and Williams still on first base. A couple of foul balls. Well, good aggressive hitting here from the young Port Adelaide player, Lee. She's not going to get many walks because I think she's swung at just about every pitch she's faced so far, but she's done well. She's put a couple of balls in play. She almost had that RBI single in her second turn at bat. That was a great play from Kelsey Barker, and a few foul balls, and you know what? This is one of the better pitchers in the competition that she's facing right now, so good future ahead. It's
a great sign for the future ahead, as you mentioned, James, because they're not phased out by this situation. I wouldn't leave on that.
Yeah, we've seen a couple called pretty close to that in the game so far. So Robinson going to a very dangerous area.
Can't go down looking now. Start of the game. Oh, it's an identical one.
Again, George will throw that one in hard.
Well,
this time she's safe as Charlize Callahan gets the single, advancing Megan Williams to second base. Statewide Super replay. Yeah, good piece of the ball. Gets her hands across to the outside edge, and it was a very similar pitch to the one that she hit out there her last turn at bat. It was high and perhaps even out of the strike zone, but her hands were up high enough to be able to get a shot out opposite field.
What I'm doing here, I'm walking Tash straps. There's one out. I'm thinking Taylor and Amelia is not going to hurt us.
Straps, ground ball to King, who comes in charging. to make the out. So runners advance to second and third. There are 2 out. Williams on third, Callahan on second. And this is Amelia Dolphin. No, apologies. Taylor Chillingworth. Amelia is on deck. First pitch, Lee.
Yeah, I don't agree, James. I think 2 runners in scoring position can tie the game up right here and now just by batting sensibly.
Swing and a miss on a low change-up. 86 Ks. There's 2 out. There's 2 runners in scoring position. They really need this batter to put the ball in play. Time is running away from the Magpies. Very close. Very close to the outside edge. Too close for comfort for you, Lee?
Too close.
Good eye from young Chillingworth. Smashes this to right side, gets underneath G. Morellis. Actually, George backing up. And another run scores. So the 2 youngsters for Port Adelaide doing the damage here. Chillingworth gets the ball opposite field. You don't see it in shot, but it went under G. Morellis. Williams scores. The reverse angle. We'll show it here. Oh, it went between her legs and underneath her glove. She wouldn't be able to do that if she tried another 100 times, Lee. Coach Karen Dale is going to come out. And we are running low on time. So with this timeout, Lee, she just wants the Magpie, the Walkerville Cats to compose themselves and win it here with this batter.
Yep.
Because the time is running out. We may not go another inning. So she takes that opportunity away. If Port Adelaide were to score for whatever reason this next batter, it's either going to be a draw or Port Adelaide get that opportunity to win, because we'll play out the inning.
And then we'll go to the top of the lineup with Jess Neves been on 3 times out of 3.
Well,
so it's Amelia can be a hero here, or at least do her best, which she will, I'm sure of it.
Jurassic just a bit vocal to a catcher there, Chelsea Robinson. All business, isn't she, Jurassic? Look at her go.
Yeah.
Dolphin was patient on that one, so just away from the Port Adelaide style, aggressive first pitch swings, and that one was in there. High for a ball, so 1-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the 5th. There's 2 out, runners on the corners.
Amelia's got so much composure in the batting box for a young person against a pitcher of her quality.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What are you doing with the runner on first, Lee?
Nothing.
That tying runs on third, but you've also got a forced play to second if you get one that dribbles sort of to the second or shortstop.
Yep. It's play the percentages. The state of the game dictates we go with this batter.
Out of the zone, a change up. 3-1 to count. So that first one was right in there, but Dolphin has stuck to her. Oh, timeout called here from Ash Merkin, just to slow down the pace of the game again. She gives her a little bit of advice and a high five, and
I'm not trying to change up to a number 9 batter. I'm telling you, because she walks, then Jess comes in 3 times on base out of 3.
Well, she went for that outside edge and she hit it.
Dare I say something's going to happen on this pitch?
Well, runner will go. Runner on first will take off on the pitch.
That's a big call.
2 out, full count. Dolphin, she's showing bunch. She'll pull back here and low for a ball. Great turn at bat, Amelia Dolphin.
For a number 9 hitter, her age.
Number 9 hitter at the end of the ball game. So close to time. This will be it. We've reached that threshold. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, low time. Another timeout called, this time from the Port Adelaide coach to talk to her batter, Jess Neves. And, well, one run will tie it, two runs will win it for Port Adelaide, and it'll be an unlikely result, don't you think? A bit of an upset.
But what she needs to do, Jess Nevis, is to take every pitch she can here, make Jessie Dreswick, put her under pressure, put the pressure back on Walkerville. Don't just swing at the first pitch.
Neves has
with
been
bases loaded.
Neves has been on 3 times from 3 turns at bat with a single. She got on from an error and a walk for her other 2 times.
Sure, she needs to swing at her pitch, the one she's looking for, but put some pressure back out there. Bases are loaded. There's pressure on the pitcher.
High, just out of the zone for a ball. Lee, what are you doing with your outfield? George at right field looks pretty shallow. Bianca Ramsey at centre field looks
well. They got to catch the ball. Well, they got to catch the ball.
It's that left fielder for me, Lee. If she can pull a ball, that one you want that you were talking about, she could win the game if it goes over the head of any of these outfielders.
But you can also tie it by batting discipline here.
2 balls, very good hitting count. Just out of reach of Dresic. Jessie Giamarellis throws it wild. The winning run's going to score across the plate. Port Adelaide will win the game 4 runs to 3. That was out of reach of Dresic, the pitcher. The Cats don't know what to do. The game is over. Let's watch the replay. Neves puts the ball just out of reach of Dresic off that statewide super replay. The ball just bobbled out of the glove of first base, Sophie Roberts. The runner from second didn't stop or break stride, and she will cross the plate and score for the winning run.
Unbelievable finish under huge pressure, the young side. And look how they came out on top. Great turn at bat by Jess Nevis. 4 times on. Was that 4 runs in that inning to win the game? 4 runs, yeah, that's it,
in the bottom of the 5th inning to steal it. Poor Adelaide Magpies. Well, that is definitely going to lift them up above Glenelg on the ladder. For now, they move to 8 points, just 1 game behind Sturt. Port Adelaide be watching with interest the 4 o'clock game, Sturt versus Glenelg, and that'll keep them in touch of the top 4. The statewide super replay just showing it one more time. The ball just out of reach, an awkward one for the pitcher, Jess Dresic. We saw Desi Giamarellis did the right thing to try to get to the ball, and she come up and she threw the ball just out of reach. Well, let's talk performances of the game. Actually, Lee, let's just as we talk about it, we've seen that Jess Dresic had only thrown 37 pitches before the start of that inning, and then for the next, she just wasn't able to get those next 3 outs. No,
it's they threatened, didn't they, Port?
Let's quickly recap that last inning, Lee. It was Grauer. You said to Walker, she hit a triple to the fence. Then Megan Williams got on from an error. Just clicked the backhand side of Sophie Roberts' glove. A foul fly from Tilton for the first out of the inning. Actually, the run scored from the hit of Megan Williams. So that was the first run. Then we go with 1 out, runner on first. Charlize Callahan was able to get a hit out to right field, advancing the runner. Tash Straps got a ground ball to shortstop. It was a slow roller that allowed the runner to score from third, and then Taylor Chillingworth got a single out to right field. The runners were in scoring position. Amelia Dolphin got a walk to load the bases, and just on that miss hit from Jess Neves, can you believe it? 2 runs scored on a single to second base.
I can believe it because I saw it, but I still can't believe it, James. It was terrific under pressure batting, and what a wonderful fillip that'll be for them, the Port Adelaide Magpies side. And they've got Abby Mossman to come back in, so that'll be handy for them.
Well,
how far is she away?
I haven't had an update on that one just yet, but
a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap it up, Healy, thank you very much to everyone at home who joined us. Next Saturday's game right here, 2 p.m. on Spacequake Sports. You'll see the Cats back in action against top of the table West Torrens Eagles. They had a draw against bottom side Seacombe. Walkerville has just dropped a game to 5th place Port Adelaide. The competition's tightening up, Lee. So can't wait for that game next Saturday. But can you miss Thursday night's action? Fully loaded softball will be week 3, 7 p.m. right here, Softball SA live stream. We've seen some huge action, some great softball being played Thursday night, 7 p.m. Right here on Spacequake Sports. Thanks so much to all our broadcast partners, Bob Burns Blinds, MC Sportswear, Statewide Super, CBS and Minelab. Any closing comments, Lee?
No, except it was an exciting game, James. A lot of hitting, a lot of those little pop-up flies to the infield, and the last one was like it didn't go to a play, and you can't just defend every part of the ground. And so I think fair enough result in the end.
Fortune favouring Port Adelaide on this occasion. They run out winners 4 runs to 3 against the back-to-back defending champions, the Walkerville Cats. That'll do it for us here. Thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports. Port Adelaide winners 4 runs to 3 over Walkerville. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.